what makes Great Big Sea a different concept band is the fact that there's a fusion of styles. You have old Irish style and myself, English and Irish and Bob's background in the form of folk music. And then you have people like Darrell Power and Alan Doyle, who are seasoned rock and roll people. And when we came together, we all get along very well, and it's always a treat to play with these guys because you never know what's going to happen. And it's reflected in the music. And it's really important to me that these old songs come out in new ways. We've been playing traditional music for some 7 years now, myself and Bob especially, and now it's our turn to put something back into it. And that's what we're doing with Great Big Sea. And it turns out to be quite entertaining, actually. A lot of people like it, what we're doing.
Well, music runs in my family. My father played in the CLB band, and one of my grandfathers played piano at the Nickel Theatre. My sister is a professional musician, and my father and both my parents, I suppose, were quite musical as well. So it's I'm just carrying on a family trade.
Was it always folk music, or did you yourself dabble in other things?
No, I've played in all kinds of bands, country and rock and roll bands, and for a long time I was a stalwart of the local punk community. But the last 5 or 6 years I've devoted myself exclusively to folk music.
What was it about folk music, or what is it about folk music that brought you back?
Folk music has deep roots in Newfoundland, and Newfoundland music, I suppose, is the way I think of it more than folk music. And the Newfoundland culture is very important to me personally, and folk music is one of the strongest elements of that. So to me, it's just a natural progression. If you're interested in Newfoundland culture and you're a musician, then the thing to do is to play Newfoundland music.
Music is definitely in my family. My father played for X number of years and all around the circle, and my mom taught music lessons, and my uncles, the first band I played in essentially was with my uncles, and we played in middle of the road rock and roll bands up and down on the Southern Shore, and essentially I grew up with it both in the house and outside the house. It was generally what went all the way around the Doyle family in Petty Harbour.
But is it when you're on stage, is it what people give back to you? Is it the audience that makes you go crazy, or is it the lighting, or is it just the sound? Is it?
It's definitely the audience. It's definitely the audience.
Describe a Great Big Sea audience. What's that about?
It's funny. Lately, Great Big Sea audiences have been varied. What I like about this show, and what you don't get from a standard rock band like I used to play in, is that we get people from 19 years old to 65 years old coming to our shows. There's something in this for everyone, because we're still playing some of the old songs, and which older people love to hear all the time, but we're approaching them with such a youthful zest, I suppose, that the young people really get off on it, and they hear songs that their grandparents used to sing, but they see 4 young guys up going mad on stage singing them. So it's, that's what I like about the Great Big Sea audience now.
Is it attracting a lot of young people?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it come here, and I've seen people slam dancing to folk music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like that for a bunch of reasons. One of which is that it really makes songs last, and we're going to preserve songs by making them applicable to the younger generation. And secondly, I had an experience a couple of days ago. Since the record's been out, I heard a bunch of kids in Petty Harbour skipping while they were singing Excursion Around the Bay. And like I said, wow, right on, that's exactly the point. If we can make, an old standard tune like Excursion Around the Bay applicable to, a bunch of young kids who were skipping on the side of the street, then that's it. That's one of the major goals achieved right away, because, that's what we want to do,
Well, it was on last Monday morning, and the day been calm and fine, to the Harbour Grace excursion with the boys to have a time. And just before the sailor took the gangway from the pier, I saw some fella haul me wife on board of the Volunteer. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. We had full 300 souls on board, oh what a splendid sight. Met strong and regimental to make our spirits bright. And myself being in the double for the funny things they'd say. They choked themselves from laughing when they'd see us in the bay. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. My wife, she got no better. She turned a sickly green. I fed her cake and candy, fed pork and kerosene, castor oil and sugar of candy, her up pure oil on her face. And I said she'll be a dandy when we reaches Harbour Grace. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. My wife, she got no better, my wife, me darling dear. The screeches from her trolley I could hear in Carbonear. I tried every place in her grace, tried every store and shop, to get her something for a cure, take her to the hop. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. She died below the Brandies as we were coming back. We buried her in the ocean, wrapped up in a Union Jack. So now I am a single man in search of a pretty face, and the woman that says she'll have me, I'm off for her progress. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Hey!